where His Excellency the President has treated more than 200 women with fertility problems in under a month, and it seems many more are still waiting to receive the therapy, credited with creating a mini baby boom. Well, another batch commenced the treatment on Thursday at State House. Abdunjai reports the process will now continue in Kanilai.
It is again the leader doing what he does best. Restoring hope is to him a humanitarian service he has assumed with full responsibility. He has somehow attached such urgency to the problem faced by Gambian women and their counterparts in the sub-region, not to mention the host of others treated from other parts of the world. But there is still a striking number on the waiting list, suggesting the magnitude of the problem of infertility is so grave to be ignored.
Presently, we are on the 8th batch. The demand is so high that we have a series of screening processes that the patients they undergo through before finally coming here for the treatment. Because of the success rate of the treatment, you could see patients coming in. We are now having about 101 patients presently for this 8th batch.
His first encounter with the beneficiaries is always crucial and challenging. A range of techniques is needed to get them started, each pointing to the complex nature of the treatment which they have to undergo. Having treated successive batches for infertility, President Jammeh is well au fait with the problems most likely to surface during their confinement. He told them bluntly to respect the guidelines of the treatment program and not to be too judgmental. He took them through the details of the treatment program with precision, referring time and again on the misconception that pregnancy is automatic for all of them and will occur simultaneously. The cases, he said, varies, and so is expected the time in which they will regain fertility. For some, it is a matter of weeks or months, and a year for others, which again substantiates his assertion that the success of the treatment will purely be based on the will of God, and his medication should be taken in that faith and must not be mixed with anything else. While expressing concern over the lack of proper child spacing, the Gambian leader also expounded on the importance of maintaining contact with the staff in order to ensure the expectant mother receives the required antenatal care. But this is not always the case. The experience is that a good number of them will prefer to keep their pregnancy secret, which makes it extremely difficult for the staff to step in when there is complication. The success of the President's treatment program is sold not by mere propaganda and cheap broadcast, but purely by accounts of those who have passed through it. That alone is sufficient to interest more people beyond the country's borders.
Fañ bi dama toog Dakar ma gis Yaaya Jammeh di dimbale nit ñi te sonn naa lool dem naa fu ne yóbbu façon sëriñ bu ne dem naa fa mais bu ma seetaane sama njëkke mi ngi fi Gambie sëy fii moom moo ma woo expliqué ma affaire bi lu mu demee si laa ñëw fii mais bu ma seetaane tamit télé gis li Yaaya Jammeh di liggéey ma xam ne dëgg la te tamit am naa confiance si Yaaya Jammeh moo tax ma ñëw wóolute.
Similar sentiments came from her Gambian counterparts who also wish to end several years of ordeal. This is exactly the driving force behind the initiative, says Dr. Tamsir Mbow.
This is showing the effectiveness of the treatment and the confidence the patients they have in the treatment program. That is why the patients are coming in for the infertility treatment. Under any treatment, when the success rate goes up, automatically the demand by the patients is always high. That is why you could see whenever we announce the infertility treatment, patients, they come in immediately within the first 12 hours.
Having exhausted the formal procedures in Banjul with their doctor, the women have now been transferred to Kanilai for the remaining days of the treatment. Abdunjai, GRTS.
Well, you can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Meanwhile, the Office of the Inspector General of Police is hereby reminding the general public, security chiefs and heads of departments that vehicles allocated to honorable ministers and deputy ministers, the Secretary General, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and the Clerk of the National Assembly, the Chief Justice and judges, ambassadors, permanent secretaries, Director Generals of parastatals, the Director of Treasury, the Auditor General, governors of the Central Bank, Governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia, mayors, the paramount chief, regional governors, the ombudsman, the chief of protocol, and the deputy chief of protocol, military officers who fall within the rank of lieutenant colonel and above, commissioners of police and above, the chairman, IEC, are the only ones allowed to ply our roads. Immediate release from the said office urges all those who are not listed to immediately remove their tinted glasses. Failure to adhere to the said regulation will lead to the impounding of such vehicles and the commencement of legal action against those found wanting. It ends. The National Farmers Platform recently held a workshop to, among other things, assess the needs of the body for the next 3 years with a view to selling them to their potential partners. Ndei Busso was at the opening ceremony and she now reports.
Gambia has had a long and unusually poor experience with rice development projects. Such projects, specifically leaf pump irrigation, was introduced in select communities of the upper reaches of the Central River region, north and south banks and beyond as rice self-sufficiency initiatives. The need to expand rice production in the country arises from the present food crisis which has been threatening for several decades now. The National Farmers Platform, the Gambia, convened a meeting which attracted 2 rice farmers cooperatives in the Central River region and the recently formed National Rice Farmers Association to a one-day validation workshop at its head office in Kanifing on the result of the study report.
For most of West Africans, rice is synonymous to living. Rice is what we know. So in the face of food insecurity in most countries and in the Gambia, we feel that the need to develop on the rice value chain is very important, particularly for farmers working in the rice subsector.
Officials reveal a decline in per capita rice production in the country, and with the national population expected to double in the next 25 years, failure to take steps to halt this deterioration, they say, could lead to a situation in which more than half of the country's population would be dependent on rice imports and food aid. The representative of VECO, which is covering Senegal, Mali, and the Gambia, for his part, said rice production is essential in the increasing of the Gambia's food self-sufficiency drive, since the country's main food is rice.
We hope and we count on you to give us a strong contribution to improve this report and to help us to make a very good decision.
Rice is the national staple food, occupying about 50% of our cost of living index. Providing for its qualitative production makes it an ideal step to the increasing desired yield. For GRTS News, I am Ndei Busso.
Well, that report from Ndei Busso will take us to our first break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the international news. We'll be right back.
Has done it again with the extremely highest bonus on the lowest recharge.
That's right. That's the new AfriCell e-voucher credit recharge.
Now recharge between $5 and $40 and get a 25% bonus. Not only can you recharge as low as $5, yes, you heard me. Recharge as low as $5 and you will get a 25% bonus.
Extremely the highest bonus in the Gambia.
Extremely affordable.
Extremely low.
That's the AfriCell Extreme Recharge.
For more info, call 111.
Welcome back. U.S. President Barack Obama believes the killing of a Yemeni-based radical Muslim preacher is a clear manifestation that there is no safe haven for terrorists anywhere in the world. The United States on Friday announced that an unmanned drone has killed Anwar al-Awlaki in Yemen. This report takes a closer look at the growing influence of a preacher who used the internet to capture hearts and minds.
Hero. Why al-Awlaki is so influential is a combination of birth and upbringing. He was born in the United States. His father was a minister in the Yemeni government. He is smart and privileged. He preached in Imam Jahari Malik's mosque in Virginia. He doesn't agree with al-Awlaki's extreme views and denounces the killings at Fort Hood. But it was here at Malik's mosque al-Awlaki met Major Hassan, as well as 2 of the 9/11 bombers. The 9/11 Commission reports that even before this, he was on the FBI's radar. According to the Commission, by the time we sought to interview him in 2003, he had left the United States.